to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Check. Mic check, waifu, waifu. Telle, is that you?
Polo hitting the leaf. What's up?
This is episode 163 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex. Make sure you go to lubecomplex.com. Use that offer code waifu to save on your entire car. Shout out to Lube Complex. They have a huge 50% off classic design sale right now. 50% classic. Now you can't use the code waifu to save even more on top of that, but they are also launching the new Succubus website live. So check them out, lubecomplex.com. Use the offer code waifu on the new stuff and hit up that 50% sale. So check that out. Make sure y'all check that out for sure.
Yeah.
It's also brought to you by our Patreon producers. Shout out to AB and Brown Dre, the GOAT G, Johnny from Analytical Podcast, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast, Explicitly, Monique Williams, and Nachi. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. Hope everybody's doing well. Mic Check Waifu Waifu is the anime podcast. It's brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CST. We cover seasonal anime topics, and many other things. I'm joined by my brother as usual, King Telliano. King Telliano, how you feeling, bro?
Man, it's been a good week for me. Chilling. I ain't had to drive that much. I don't know if y'all know this. I hate driving.
Especially here.
If I ever become rich, like beyond my wildest dreams, I'm getting a driver.
Ooh.
I'm telling you now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I like that.
I'm gonna be like, I'm on my 8th kid now. I'm gonna be like, look, this 2-month-old ain't trying to go to sleep. Drop him around the corner. We're gonna get in the car. Drop him around the corner till they go to sleep. All right, we back. I'm just joking. No, but I do hate driving. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a good week though. How you feeling, Polo?
I'm feeling pretty good too, man. Great week for me too. I did a thing. I came back to streaming again because I've been off for a while.
Yes.
And boy, has it been crazy. I mean, I'm talking, I had 2,500 views on my chat at one point. We crushed old averages, crazy amount of subs, crazy amount of love in the return. So I want to say thank you everybody that's on the Twitch stream, that's finding the podcast and listening to the podcast via the Twitch stream, and then the vice versa, people that's finding the Twitch streams because of the podcast. Thank y'all so much for supporting me. I appreciate y'all. It means a lot.
I would also like to say I'm happy Polo streamed.
Dog, 4 days in a row.
Yeah, I wasn't able to be there for every single stream, but I hosted one of them. You know, I ain't got the Polo followers and subscribers and nothing like that. But I'm a host every time I even get to see it. I'm a host because that's all I can do. I'm gonna do the best I can and support my brother.
I appreciate that.
To see him streaming again, I remember, and I know Polo probably be getting tired of me saying this. I remember when he was streaming. What was it? It was probably Blade and Soul or something else.
Oof, yeah, 2015.
And they was in there going hard on like Magikarps or something in his stream.
Yep.
Oh my God. I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, you know, I'm always happy to see the growth.
Good time, man. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I've been doing streaming for a very long time. There was so many times where I was extremely successful doing it and I would just stop. I don't know what it was. I don't know what made me stop, but it was always maybe burnout, but maybe burnout for the recent stop. But before that, it was just like life. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the T-Mobile incident that I had that sent me down that depression. It was, you know, my roommate basically not paying our goddamn rent and us getting kicked out of that house. Me trying to find somewhere to live. That kind of situation fucked everything up. Yeah, it was some tough spots that prevented me from getting to where I probably should have been by now. Like since 2015, like you know what I'm saying, that's a long time.
Right. Also, oh, go ahead, bro.
I was just about to say, some would say I'm a vet at the stream and shit, but I would never try to, claim that.
You're definitely a vet. You ain't gotta say it. We'll say it for you. But for us to both have had bad roommates in the past.
Listen,
why we ain't never been roommates?
I know, it's crazy. Not once.
Polo and I had bad experiences with roommates, and we ain't never been roommates. We probably would have been chill. We'd have been set.
It wouldn't have been no problem.
We would have been. Things would have been clean.
Yeah.
Things would have been paid on time.
On time, man.
You probably would have been on auto pay. Probably wouldn't even know. Look like the bills came out.
Yep.
Okay.
You wouldn't have took my half of the rent and went to Vegas and lost it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even like Vegas. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even really want to go.
Listen, my roommate, I'm gonna tell y'all this story because why the fuck not? This is an anime podcast. I probably look into that. But my roommate back then, this is a long time ago, he took the money I would give him. He went on vacation. Like, he was unemployed at the time. He got fired because we worked for the same like corporation under like T-Mobile. It was an authorized dealer or whatever. We worked under the same company. He got fired and he was never working. So I was always going. He was always home. I'd come home, you know what I'm saying? He would all be up in his room, and he had a crazy ass game room too, by the way. It was insane. But I would pay rent every month on time. Like, I would give him the cash, which is probably my mistake. I should have just fucking wrote out a money order and delivered it to the damn office myself so they could. Now, if I know what I know now, I was young back then. I was like 23 or whatever it was. But I would give him the money, and that I would think we'd be good. One day, I'm off of work. A sheriff come knocking on the door. He's like, "Yeah, all right, y'all got to get out." I'm like, wait, what? Now, mind you, I had no idea the rent was backed up. I had no idea we missed anything because he was home all the time. So every time we got like a notice or anything, he would just take it. And you know what I'm saying? He would go to his room with it or whatever the fuck he would do with it. I don't know. Eat it. I don't give a fuck. But
demon.
He had the notices. So it literally sprung up on me with zero warning. No idea.
Well, he wasn't even there.
No, he was there. He was there. I'm like, yo, why is he here saying we evicted? He was like, oh man, something happened, man. Something crazy happened. And I like, after a while, I put two and two together. I'm like, you just came back from Vegas, so is that what happened? and he ain't say nothing. I literally had to scramble that day, get a truck, and put all my shit in the truck. I think I took my shit to Money's house back then. I just took all my stuff to his house and then was like out of the car for a while, and I had to go live somewhere I didn't want to be.
Not even like to bring it up, but those sheriffs, they could be real dicks about it. But I'm happy they at least let you get a truck or something because they ain't have to let you do that. Because I talked to him, I'm like, the roommate being that bad. Come on, man.
I talked to him. I'm like, listen, man, I didn't even know this was a thing that was happening. Let me just go grab this truck. It was right down the street. Luckily, it was in North Olmsted. I'll never forget it, man. It was fucked up. It was the most fucked up time of my life, bro. It was crazy. But yeah, I mean, never again. We here. This is an anime podcast, I promise. Telle, watched a lot of anime this week. Even though I was streaming for most of the week, I did get some anime in. Obviously, I am gonna say this is probably the hardest week for me choosing episode of the week, and the reason being is because not all of them were equally good. I'm gonna say there was just a lot of most improved. I should say, Call It a Night not being one of them, but.
This bro a hater, I swear to God. Yeah.
But I will say this again. We'll talk about this a little later. But I think Engaged Kissed had the most engaging, pun intended, I guess, engaging episode for me. Because we dug so deep into the main character's backstory. We got so much more understanding of what the fuck is actually going on between him and the demon and the girl that was there. It was after understanding what he's going through, this story is a lot more brilliant than I thought. So I'm gonna give my episode of the week. Even though there were episodes better than this show still this week, I'm going to give the episode of the week this week to Engage Kiss because I feel like the improvement that at this show just within this episode, which was episode 4, I think was significant enough to earn episode of the week. Even though, again, it wasn't better than a lot of other shows that I watched this week. I will say that. But it's like
most improved of the week.
It was impressive, yes. Yes, right. Very impressive.
obviously we can say summertime rendering, episode of the week quality.
Understand that.
Made in the best, just the lore and understanding everything we get every week. Obviously, episode of the week quality. What I got to give my episode of the week to, though, and hear me out.
Always.
I was going to choose between Call of the Night, because when I watched Call of the Night before I watched this other one, and I was like, yeah, that's probably my episode of the week. But then it was Classroom of the Elite. I feel like Classroom of the Elite had a good episode this week.
That was a great episode.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it for the first time since episode 1 of season 1.
I fucking love Ayana Koji just shitting on everybody. It's so weird.
But that one thing he said when it was like, when she said something about you just think you're that much better than us. He was like, I don't even have the time to explain to you how much better than you I am.
Yeah.
I was like,
yep.
I fucks with that.
He's a good.
It's not even about anything. It's about the confidence. But it wasn't even like he was confident in saying it. It was like he just knew.
And the thing is you believe it.
100%. He said, I'm gonna set up the framework to let y'all know that I'm better than y'all. I'm just not gonna tell you I'm better than y'all. I gotta show you. Mm-hmm. It's got to be a whole display, a demonstration, if you will.
He is an unbelievable character. He's an unbelievable character. What's so sad about Classroom of the Elite is, again, I get why people don't like it, because he's just the only thing about it. That's maybe that's why I like it so much, is because the fact that he's putting this entire show on his back. And it's like not even for a lack of trying. Like, these people are trying to make you care about these other characters, but nobody actually gives a fuck about anybody else in Classroom of the Elite, right? So like, it's either or kind of thing. You either like the fact that it's Ayana Koji alone, or you hate the fact that it's Ayana Koji alone because you want more. You know,
right?
But we're not there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why. Again, Call of the Night sounds pretty. It looks pretty. But there's nothing there, man. There's nothing there. It's boring as shit. It's boring as fuck, bro. It's so boring. It's such. Listen, as somebody who watched so many love stories, I've watched so many fucking slice of life love stories. This is bottom of the barrel trash. And you know what? That's what we're gonna talk about today. Today we're gonna give you our top 3 of the summer season and our bottom 3 of the summer season. And I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Bet.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. So before we get into that, we're going to spoil in the second half of the show. We're going to spoil Summertime Rendering, Overlord 4, which is also episode of the week, quality kind of shit too. And where you want to go from there?
Do you want to go straight into that? What you was talking about, the top 3 versus the bottom 3 of this season?
No, I'm talking about as far as spoiler talk.
Oh,
for the third one,
we can probably do. Hold on, what did you say? You said Overlord, Summertime Rendering.
Mm-hmm.
We can, if you want to. You want to talk about Rent a Girlfriend?
Okay, we can do that.
That was a pretty eventful episode, kind of eventful, not fully eventful.
Yeah, it wasn't fully eventful, but very interesting. Yeah.
So let's do that.
Yeah, okay. Rent a Girlfriend for the second half of the show. All right. Next up. What's that topic you wanted to talk about? Let's get into that real quick.
So I had a little bit of a issue with the episode this week. One of the anime I had been watching, and I know Polo. I think Polo dropped it already.
What?
The Harem in the Labyrinth?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, all right. We watched this week's episode then, I'm assuming, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, bet. Because I have a very specific issue with what's going on, right? So this whole time we watched this anime, we knew that our main character, a little horny, a little perverted, he has his perversions. We obviously know what's going on with dude. I was thinking that as he gets to the point where he finally acquires, the slave girl, and I'm thinking like, I hope he goes the route of like almost like Naofumi, where he frees the slave and shows her love and cultivates a relationship with her. Yep. That gives us like, even if it gets intimate, I want it to be better. But it almost gave me, I wanted him to be better. He just wasn't. When it got to the point in this episode, and this is a spoiler alert, our main character has sex with his slave girl, right? And for me, it was just it was an instant drop, guaranteed drop. Couldn't do it no more because I wanted him to be a better character. He is literally not shit. And Polo he said that he was willing to drop this one. I think like the second episode in, I think we were in, and he was like, I'm not feeling this. And I almost regret getting this far in this anime because this whole episode I sat through. I feel like I gritted my teeth watching through it, bro.
No,
like, it almost gave me like redo of a healer, but nicer vibes. Like, okay, clearly the guy is nicer in how he's doing the things, but it's still very much so manipulation. And I guess in my mind, I can't mess with that kind of manipulation, you know?
Well, I don't know about that. And let me play devil's advocate to something me and Telle virtually agree on here. Okay,
let's do it.
I did want to drop it because episode 2 because I didn't like the way the writing was done. It took us to the future and showed kind of spoilers of what his party is probably going to eventually end up looking like. And within the show, and I thought that was real mad corny. You just showed us too much. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of terrible storytelling. But when I continued through episode 3 and saw him working so hard and the way he like navigated trying to earn the money in order to buy the slave girl, I thought that was really cool to see. When he got the slave girl,
like
yes.
Episode 4 was when he was doing all the assassinating, and killing
the bandits and shit. It was cool as fuck to see. But I will say, as soon as he bought her and he was doing his perversion shit like that, he was being weird about it. He was, and again, I'm mostly playing devil's advocate here because I very much agree with Telle. He was still being very respectful. He's like, okay, she's not pushing back, so maybe it's
he did ask for like consent and stuff.
Yes, so redo of a healer was a little hyperbolic on Telle's part. I will say that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it was exactly like that. I said he gave me that vibe,
and that's why I wanted to clarify. He was being hyperbolic when he said that. It's not that bad, but it did. Again, I still agree with him because it makes you feel uncomfortable as people who don't need to or do any of that shit. Like I definitely felt uncomfortable. I'm like, just stop, man. Just quit. It's not necessary. Just get to know her. Fucking party with her. Do some normal shit. And it did.
At least normal for an isekai.
Yes. It truly does make you feel uncomfortable because of the situation. She's a slave. Basically, her first night there, it turns into this weird fantasy fulfillment episode, which it didn't sit right with me either. I would agree. Am I gonna drop it yet? No, I'm gonna give it more time. Only because I love what they did with his
episode 4, episode 3 leading into 4. Yeah, 3 and 4. Those are the 2 best episodes so far.
Yep, and his way of moving around is still very interesting. Like I'm very intrigued to see where this goes, and in fact, again, when shows set up the world rules, I like it. I like that a lot. It's very important.
Like he almost got in trouble for killing the bandits and stuff like that. Yes. He could have got in trouble for killing the bandits.
Exactly.
Now, the one of the issues I have with this specifically is like we got Black Summoner this season.
Man, and that's where I was going to go to next.
We got Black Summoners this season, right?
Unbelievable show.
It's almost like a complete 360 almost. And I'm not saying like we can compare these two for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost like apples to apples, to be honest.
Yeah, our characters, I don't even feel right comparing them.
One is Mercury, the other is Pluto. It's right. They're the same exact kind of show, but again, very different in the sense of it being the same kind of show. Because I mean, you look at it, they're isekais. They're very much in the realm of harem quality, right? Like Kelvin is obviously accumulating a specific set of people who are becoming, kind of haremist, but he's very respectable kid, right. Very, very likable character. Unbelievable writing, world building, and rules. Crazy show. Black Summoner is definitely well more worth it than any other isekai we're watching this season outside of like Overlord.
Or pharmacy. What?
Well, oh yeah, I'm tripping. See, that's the thing. My mind keeps forgetting that's the isekai because it's just so fucking. It's just naturally great, you know. But yeah,
but like Polo was saying, Black Summoner. It's like a hit, kind of. It's like it's on to something, but it's like we look at. Oh, it's kind of a spoiler, but we see kind of like what happens going into this let's say this dungeon, and we see the character there, and we're like, okay, we know that's about to be one of his people.
Yep.
But it's just like, man, the way they lead into it, our main character ain't like some horny pervert. Right. It's dope. It feels smooth, and it's good. Like he said, the world building is nice, clean. The characters are nice. I love how they even because our main character, obviously, like when they did the thing, he cut off Clotho a little piece. Clotho gave a little piece of the slime, put it on the girl's shoulder so she could be in the network of communication. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's another dope little concept to just see how these different powers and things build off of each other. And we got a lot of isekai this season, and some of them are good, and all of them aren't good. You know, all of them aren't hitting. But Black Summoner is one that I'm sold on so far, bro.
100%. It's what's funny is that you got the harem labyrinth in another world or whatever, and Black Summoner, almost the exact same thing. Main character gets a slave. Very two different ways they go about handling the situation, because he's more now Fumi trying to essentially free him, you know, and the other guy is like, treat him with
respect.
Yep, treat him with respect and everything. It's crazy. Like
I said, not even trying to say like he's truly doing something disrespectful, right?
Right, because
we're in another world. It's not necessarily disrespectful. He is kind, but it's also like, obviously he's taking advantage of the fact that he has a slave, and I just, something in my mind don't click right with that. I agree. It don't click right in my mind with that, and I'm just like, yeah, that ain't cool. But yeah, Black Summoner, they doing it right. Watch that one for sure. And I'm gonna let Polo watch the next episode of Harem in the Labyrinth, and if he tell me it's good, I'm gonna tune back in. But as of right now, it's dropped.
I'll let you know for sure. Man, again, this is another time where I look at my Annie list, right, and I just see my isekai life. Forget I watched it. Very forgettable episode, even though it was a good episode. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. Let's slide into what our top 3 of this season is and what our bottom 3 is. I got a feeling ours is going to be completely different. Maybe not completely different, but
so we're clearly not doing stuff we already watched from previous season, right?
Correct. Summertime rendering don't count. I'll go first. Are we counting season 2, season 4, stuff like that?
Yeah, we can do all that. We can do, but just do top 3 first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to start the negatives first?
It's up to you.
Let's do negatives first.
Let's do that.
Bottom 3.
Bottom 3 for me goes. Man, this is tough because I like these, but I'm gonna start with number 3. So from least worst to worst. When will Yumi make his move?
You said when will who make his move?
Ayumi make his move.
All right, when will Ayumi make his move?
It's a slice of life where it's kind of it's just boring.
Least worst for me.
A lot of good ones, man.
It is. It's. I feel like it's definitely more good ones than there are bad ones. But
I agree.
Least worst for me, I'm probably gonna put Engage Kiss, and I'm only gonna say that because I didn't watch the latest episode like you did.
Oh,
I watched the previous episode, but I didn't watch the latest episode. So I'm gonna go with Engage Kiss for my least worst.
That'll change your mind, I think. Okay. Second least worst is Uncle from Another World.
Did you catch up on a couple episodes?
Hell no.
Okay. You ain't see the Attack on Titan?
Definitely not.
Episode? Okay.
I really wouldn't care if it got an ALT in it.
It had more than AOT though. It got a bunch of references, but go ahead, bro.
Yeah, AOT reference. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Let's see. My next one is Shine On Bakumatsu Bad Boys.
I forgot you watched that one.
It's actually not that bad. It's just super shonen-y. Super shonen-y, and it gets a little irritating. I ain't gonna lie to you. It get a little irritating with all the extra shonen stuff.
And then for me, the maid I recently hired was Mysterious. Again, it's a cute show, but it's the worst. It's probably the worst one for me this season.
And mine is probably going to be the one I just talked about dropping. Yeah. Harold in the Labyrinth of Another World. We're not even gonna go hold on to it. That's my worst for the season so far.
Copy that. Top 3. This is fucking tough because all of these are great.
I don't even have no concerns about what I'm putting. I already know what it is.
From worst top 3 to number 1, obviously. So for number 3 for me, I'm gonna go with Overlord 4.
You going with Overlord 4 for the worst of your top 3?
Again, worst is it's a very weird term to use in that type because it's top 3.
Let me look at this. My worst, I am going to go with Licorice Recoil.
And again, worst is not the right word to use. It's number 3 of our top 3.
Number 3 of our top 3, yeah.
So let's make sure we clarify that because worst means bad, and none of this is bad.
Yeah.
Number 2, Yakuza Gods of Babysitting.
Yes. Okay. I can agree with that. Yeah. My number 2 is going to be Overlord.
Good one. And my number 1 is obviously a Parallel World Pharmacy. I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it. We in Houston. Let me chill. I gotta keep it trill.
I think I forgot what I chose for my number 2.
Overlord 4.
I was a little surprised. I'm surprised. My number 1 for this season is Made in Abyss.
Yep, I knew it.
Not even gonna hold you. It's just everything that happened in this episode. I was like,
it was so
yep.
Good.
It all makes sense. It all is like a culmination of things we've been preparing for, and I feel escalations. But yeah, I agree. Parallel. It's a top tier one this season,
and the reason being is because like you look at it, right? You got great ones going on right now. Classroom of the Elite, like Vermeil and Gold. Like Vermeil and Gold is so good. It's so underrated right now. I really want people to understand Vermeil and Gold. Yes, it looks very cheesy, but it's not. Vermeil and Gold is worth every last minute I've ever put into the show, and I put a lot of minutes into the show because I watch the outro every single fucking time because the outro is a banger. But it's been good. Rent a Girlfriend's been good. Very, very good.
All agreeable.
My Devil is a Part-Timer, fucking great episode this week, man.
Yep. Devil is a Part-Timer is also a very good episode this week.
Very great episode. But like they're in the upper echelons of the list, and then the bottom ones are still like decent bottom ones. You know what I'm saying? Like all except for like even Call Her the Night doesn't deserve to be in my bottom 3. It's because again, it's very beautiful. It sounds amazing. I can always look at it. Even if I'm falling asleep, you know what I'm saying?
Even if every episode is wallpaper worthy.
It's very wallpaper worthy.
Oh my God. When it was in the bed, bro, all 3 of them, I was like, the fucking rain effects.
It was sick. It's beautiful. It reminds me of the way I thought, what's that? World Trigger, I think the game was called on DS.
World Trigger? Yeah.
That's the way I felt like World Trigger looked on DS, even though I know it looked like shit compared to this. But it's just it gave me that feeling. It's pretty good.
We go talk about that feeling. I think high key, some of those scenes could have been like the Lo-Fi Girl. Just replace the Lo-Fi Girl with some of these scenes and just had that rainwater trickling nonstop.
Yeah, it's fire. It's fire.
Yeah.
It's fire.
But
again,
I agree. Sometimes you get a lot of the visual presence, the auditory presence. So it's a really good show in those regards. And then sometimes the story is just like, it doesn't feel like it's really going anywhere.
It's a love story I see coming throughout all. Like I said, throughout my thousands and thousands of hours of love stories I've watched, it's a love story I see coming. Very cliche. Very, very cliche.
You're supposed to see it coming. That's the point. He's trying to fall in love with a vampire.
No, I got shit like Vermeil and Gold that actually surprises me. I got shit like Rent a Girlfriend that actually surprises me. I got a couple of cuckoos from last season that's carrying over into this season that's actually surprising me. Like, there's love stories in there that you can do the typical love story trope with, still with a really dope spin on it. My team romantic comedy snafu.
What was the name of that? What was the name of that anime with 02? You think that's a better love story? Darwin and the Franks, yeah. Darwin and the Franks. You think that's a better love story?
No, it's no.
I always laugh at that because I don't actually recall 100%, but if I recall properly, I didn't think Polo really liked that one too much.
I like 02 as a character way better than I like. Nah, I'm not
the
gonna
rest
say
of
that.
the cast.
Yeah, than anybody in Darling and the Franks. That's for damn sure. But no, that story was trash. I watched it all though, just like I'm gonna watch Caller Night. And again, I don't think Caller Night is trash in any sense. It's just not that good. Shit, my fucking. How could I even forget this? My stepmom's daughter is my ex. For brilliant love story, even though it's not even really a love story. It's about. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
So, I did want to talk about something real quick though. I don't know. I forget who gave us a recommendation, but I think it was
TCB NYC.
TCB NYC. Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. Bruh.
Tell watch the first 2 episodes, y'all.
Bruh. The reason I'm gonna be real because I was gonna watch all of the episodes all the way through. I was like, let me stop right here. But I watched the first 2 episodes. When I got to that second episode, they started talking like the mom and stuff. I stopped and was like, nah, I gotta have Monique watch this with me.
She would love it.
I'm like, this shit, not only is it like actually kind of like funny, it's good. It's like, it's just good. Like, I like the characters already going into the front door. I'm like, these characters, I like these characters. I'm like, these characters, if by episode 4, they're going to be my dudes, right? But then they get to that scene where they start talking about the mom, and then the girl, like, he tell her, like, look, your mom is fighting hard. She's doing everything she can to get back to you and smile for you and hold your hand. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm about to tear up.
I did, bro.
But what got me even more was when she was like, I want to be like you. She was like, everything you did today was nice. She was like, you took me to my meeting, you did this, you did this, you did this, and she's like, I want to be like you. And he's like, your dad'll kill over if you were like me, but you're gonna be even stronger than me, you're gonna be even nicer than me. I was like, they fucking with me in this, they fuck with me.
Unbelievable show, bro. Like that. Now you get it. Now you understand what I was saying last week. I was saying last week, I'm like, this shit is some of the best shit I've watched in a very long time, and it just hit you. It just hit you from episode 1. You love the characters. I said that last week. From episode 1, you absolutely love these endearing fucking people, and you barely even know them. That's why when I look at something like Call It a Night, that dry shit that can't carry a show for the entire time. Like I'm in episode 4 and I don't give a fuck about nobody. I don't care about nobody. I do not. But in episode 1 of guys babysit whatever, Yakuza's babysitter guy, whatever, it's fucking fire. It's so fire. And then when you get to, I can't wait till you watch episode 3 because it gets even better.
We're gonna watch it tomorrow. Monique and I can't wait actually. And you know what's funny is that when Polo put that on his top 3 for the season, I was completely like, I can see that. Because that first episode, I was like, oh, nah, this is good. Just from the first episode, I ain't really need to see much more to know it was good.
Right.
But episode 2, I was like, oh. If you were watching the video, you can see my face. I was like, oh, that's good. They really writing. They writing.
Exactly, man. And again, I said this last week, to have a character to be to be thrusted in a situation to where he has to babysit this girl, but it not be a bumbling, clumsy type of character who couldn't handle a child or whatever, because that's what I expected it to be the moment he was introduced to his situation. He's the demon of this yakuza family, yet he gets tasked with watching the little lady, and him watching her is him just being himself still, but naturally teaching this young girl basically how to live. Wow, it's so good. It's so good.
And just to bring a little life experience into it, to me, it made sense that he was going to be good at this role. And the only reason I say that is because, like, I grew up with my Uncle Rick, right? Uncle Rick, big, 6'3", 6'4". He used to be damn near 280 pounds of just, like, muscle when he was just firefighting.
Wait. A funny fact is my mom and him almost dated.
You come out from my uncle. He married now, but that man is something else. All right, I love him. All right, but I grew up with Uncle Rick, right? And Uncle Rick, he got four sons, but he always really had more than 4 sons. And I say that because, like, I played for his football team in East Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And I remember...
Was it the Young Lions or some shit like that?
No, it was EC Chiefs.
Okay.
And we all
Euclid, I think.
Yeah, Maple Heights Lions. It was Maple Heights Lions.
Maple Heights Lions. Okay.
But EC, they had the Chiefs, and I remember, like, the whole starting lineup and his 4 sons. We all spent the night at his house in East Cleveland, and we just had a good time. Like, you would think that this dude, he's a fire chief, or he was a firefighter at the time, carrying 300. He broke his pinky carrying a 300-pound woman out of a burning building. And I'm like, that's my uncle. But you would think, like, this big, strong, man who kind of is intimidating. He's your football coach and he is tough. He took us to, like, the police station and had us all sit in cells and, like, this is why we do the right thing, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, and he was inspiring for me. But then you like see how he can actually be, like, nurturing and cool and help actually elevate and raise you. I was like, that's what I kind of got from watching Yakuza's Guide to Baby Sounds. Like, this man, yeah, he's tough, and the difference is my uncle ain't a criminal, at least not anymore, as far as I know. But what I'm trying to get to, right, is the tough part. Is that, you look at these men who are represented as tough, but they actually have that side where they can be nurturing, and I was like, I really vibe with that.
He's fired.
If I watched all 4 episodes, it probably would have been in my top 3 as well.
Well, like I said, 3. The 4th one is kind of a stupid what if situation type episode. They read what it is what episode 4 was. It was they did this whole first episode again, basically, and up until where the Yakuza boss like, I'm gonna give you some. Like, you have to do this. You're gonna have to become a streamer with the blonde hair dude. And it's it's like a whole.
But it wasn't funny.
I didn't watch it for real. I just kind of like skimmed through it to make sure it was nothing new. And it's
like I came for goodness. I ain't come for this shit.
Yeah, take me back to the serious shit. What's funny is, like, and did what I say last week make sense? It was serious yet still lighthearted. Because I was wrestling with that while I was editing. I'm like, did that really make sense? Because it
does make sense.
Yeah. I did. I was thinking about that to myself. I'm like, did that make sense? But then when you watch it definitely does. Because I was like,
because it's meant to. It's like I said, what I got from it is, like, when he's just talking to the little lady, and he was just having a moments. It felt like it was just cool. Like, we just breathing. Almost felt like Spy Family kind of esque, where you was like, this is relieving, stress relief. I'm cool. I ain't got to worry about nothing. And then they get into the sentimental stuff, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
Nah, they actually trying to tell us something here. Yeah. So yeah, I think you're right though. It's serious but lighthearted.
Yeah, great show, man. TCBNYC, you ain't let us down yet. He's also watching the LaCourse Recoil. Oh
yeah. The LaCourse Recoil.
LaCourse Recoil, yeah. So again, it's something about me, my general tastes. I don't like, I know it's not the case here, but I don't like magical girl-esque stuff. That turns me off completely for some reason. That and Mecha are the 2 that I just will never stay, like, I would never go near. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do, like, what's that other one? Was it Madoka Magica or some shit?
Yeah.
I can't do shit like that.
Madoka Magic actually has a really good story. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I believe it. It's just something about
the magical girl aspect of it.
Yeah, the way it's presented, I can't fuck with it.
What was the other one? Symphogear.
Symphogear.
A magical girl. I think Symphogear has some of the best sound.
I believe it, and it looks so good. It looks so fucking good. Wait, is that Wit? Symphogear?
Let's look it up. Because I remember I was looking at the sound design. I was like, man, they got some good music in here. Like every sound was different,
and the animation goes stupid. Yeah, I tried that too. It's just something about it. Like every time I'm looking at Ruby, I'm like, do I just want to turn this on? And I know that's not a magical girl, but it's magical girl-esque, and I just don't want to I don't want to do it. Studio Satellite. Studio.
Oh, okay. Studio Encourage Films and Studio Pastoral. So yeah, no big studios that we really even care about.
Very pretty show though. Very, very pretty show. A1 Studios did Engage Kiss, and that most recent episode went stupid. It went so stupid. It went so fucking crazy with the animation. But yeah, I digress. Good shit, man. Let's get to know Mic Check Waifu. It's part of the podcast. One of us rolls a random number generator. The other reads a question associated with that number. This week, I think I'm reading a question. So you wrote a random number.
All right.
15 questions in the list.
My bad, y'all. I promise I'm professional. When I typed in random number generator, it went to Yahoo, and I was like, don't do that.
Yahoo?
That's what I said. I don't even use Yahoo ever for anything.
Damn, we only got 15 questions in here. It's crazy.
I know, we almost done. All right. We got 4.
Have you ever been in Japan? No.
My wife made an imaginary Japan trip for me. She bought all like Japanese like cookware. Mm-hmm. She bought Japanese like silverware, or not the silverware. She bought like the I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Chopsticks. She bought plates and bowls and all that stuff, and she made me homemade Japanese food. Got me like this little African Japanese kimono. She dressed up in all Japanese stuff, had little origami birds and shit hanging from the ceiling, Japanese lights. Nah, I ain't never been to Japan though.
All right. When we come back, we're going to spoil Overlord 4, episode 4. Fucking Summertime Rendering, episode 16, bro. Unbelievable. And Rent a Girlfriend, episode 5. We'll be right back after these. And welcome back to episode 163 of Mic Check Waifu. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/MicCheckWaifu or youtube.MicCheckWaifu.com, something like that. And subscribe to the YouTube there. We'll appreciate you for joining us there. Yeah, we were going to spoil Summertime Rendering, episode 16. It's almost done, bro. We still got quite a few episodes, but it's almost done.
I don't want it to be done. Because this episode was good, bro.
Very good.
And
very good.
Obviously, we say this every week. We say every episode was good. That's why we stopped giving it episode of the week at
this point. We got to.
Ain't gonna be nobody else getting episode of the week.
Exactly. Right.
But yeah, man, this is when you say it's almost over. It made me a little salty. And then I look at this episode and I'm like, all the shit they dropped on us last week to give us this calmer episode, but still like into the heat of it, you know. Mm-hmm. We get the Ushio Mio shadow reincarnation, like look at each other going on. I'm like, man, we found out that the shadows, if they copy a person, we already knew that they eventually turn back to mud or whatever if the original one doesn't get completely copied or deleted. But we got an actual timeline for it now, 7 days, and it made me think like the original Ushio. Is it Ushio? The original Ushio was the original Ushio was never fully deleted. Because they said that her body was in the basement or in the morgue at the hospital, and she was the only body there because they replaced it, right?
Right.
The original Ushio was never deleted.
Yeah.
Now, that also means that our Ushio should only have 7 days to survive. But she's had to be around for more than 7 days at this point, right?
No.
Because they did the first time.
She was only dead for a day, technically.
I mean, so does the reverse in time count as okay?
Correct.
Because if that's the case, then yeah. But I was gonna say, like, if she'd been around, like, if they didn't include these time skips, she's definitely been around for more than 7 days.
Yeah, for her, it's been like 8, 9 or something like that. Because how many times we had to revert time. That's what's so great about the show, man. It follows its own logic extremely well, but it still have you asking these questions that are really good questions. Like the question you just asked is a fucking fantastic question. Shouldn't Ushio be deleted? Well, technically, yeah, but no.
Because she's gone back through time.
No time has passed, essentially. It's only been a day. So it's like...
Well, that's not true. Time has passed. Time keeps going forward, remember?
Yeah, but it's only been a day still.
Yeah, I'm saying, it's going forward. It ain't been that much time, but yeah.
Yeah, so he went forward a full day finally. And it's just so fucking good. It's so good to, again, her sharing her memories with the father and him finally coming to the realization, like, this shit is, I fucked up big time. And
that Hein basically played him.
Yeah, the whole time, which we obviously knew.
And that was actually kind of crazy to me, right? Like he goes and tries to kill his own daughter. Yeah. And the reason he didn't mind killing his own is like, Hein is going to copy her. Give me my daughter back. I won't even have to worry about it, right?
And guess what it does? It proved what I said last week to be true. It's the same person. Regardless of if it's not the same person, it is the same person.
But it made me, I'm going to tell you, this episode also, it made me feel like even more confirmed than what I thought. And I'm only saying that because of Mio. And how that Mio reacted, right? That Mio knows she's a shadow, right?
She's a copy of a copy, though.
Right. Well, wait, you said she a copy of a copy?
Yeah, so she was born straight from mother. And then she copied Mio. It wasn't like how Hein birthed her. Okay,
she was born from an original copy of Mio, but that's the same thing because like they still copy from like how Ushio was born, right? If she copy you right there, you're still the original. Like, you're still copying from the original. But what I'm trying to say more or less is that our new Mio, she kind of spoke things that Mio would have never originally said.
Yeah, so let me rephrase what I was saying. She wasn't copied. Mio wasn't copied from Mio. Mio was born from Heine. That's why she was different. Remember, she was born from Heine. Heine birthed basically this copy of Mio, which isn't original. That's why she's different. You know what I'm saying? If it was a scan of Mio, then that'd be the original. This one was just born from Heine, which makes it different in a sense.
Okay.
Very confusing, but
yeah. But what it makes me, what it kind of makes me think is that like they occupy the same space, but they don't occupy the same, I guess, soul. That's kind of how we were talking about before. But regardless of that, right, there was still so much more to kind of look at and unpack in this episode. There's always a ton to unpack. When we get the mother and we get
so good. She was so good.
And the moment that she had was so good. Ushio kind of erases the Heine brainwashing. Yeah, the connection. And it was so dope when he kind of breaks down and the dad finds out that he can't be a shadow because he's already been copied once, right? He can't be a shadow. So what Hein told him the whole time is nullified. He thought that he was gonna get to be with them, and that was never the case. She never planned on taking him, and he comes to that realization. And the mom, she has her moment to say like, "Thank you for saving me." And that's where I agree with you. Like that makes me feel like that shadow is the real thing. That's the real genuine article.
Once they erase that connection, is once they get copied. After they get copied from the original, like what's her name, Toriko or something like that, the daughter of the doctor, Tokiko. When she said when she got copied, I was okay with getting copied by the Mio that was birthed from Heine because I wanted her to see all of my thoughts. You get all of that. You get all of that those personal details. Mio is a little bit different, special shadow because she came straight from mother and she wasn't a shadow that was birthed from another shadow, so she couldn't like just copy somebody and then become that person. You know what I'm saying? That's what make her a little bit different. But whenever that copy is like it's done, it's that person. It's just that person. Like their mother is their mother legitimately, but unfortunately, when Heine dies, she's gone. And
they also gave us the details like when you talk about that shadow can't birth another shadow. We got the Heine is the shadow, right? Heine's first shadow was Shide, which that whole information spill. I love how they give us information, but her first shadow was Shide. She can birth multiple shadows, right? And the shadows that she birthed can birth one shadow, but those shadows, which are the grandchildren, cannot birth more shadows.
They can only copy.
I like that. I like that a lot. But it also makes me think Shide, right? What made him, other than the fact that that's the first one she made, what made him so special? Like he's the guardian shadow.
Yeah.
Was it because she was able to put more energy into it?
Yes.
Is it because he doesn't have to take his true form?
I think it's just because he's the first one.
Yeah.
And that's all we got. And that's all I believe that will be for that particular one.
That's cool with me, honestly.
It's
cool with me, but I love it. I love how they give us this information every single time,
absolutely legit. It's so great. It's so great. I think the best part of this entire episode for me personally, though, and this is me personally, when Shinpei was like, being angry ain't gonna solve shit. Like I am and the Mio birth from mother was like, Shinpei is the one most frustrated out of everybody here. Like, you don't understand what this man has been through. Like, she gets it. And for him to that moment, that little quote unquote speech, I'm gonna call it a speech, but it was like it was a statement that was just so powerful for the entirety of this season. It goes to show how good of a main character he is. One of the best of all time.
But let's also talk about that development. Because he came from being confused the first episode.
Rightfully so.
the second time doing a time skip, he's like, all right, I got to figure this out. To where he is now, those are huge steps. Huge steps.
Unbelievable character, man. One of the best I've seen in a very long time.
But that's the thing, though. It's not like he's the only good character in this show.
No, not even close.
And I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm saying he's not even the only good character in the show. Like, I even love Hein, and I love how even Shide addresses things, and I love Ushio and Mio, like how they look at the entire thing, and the twins, Hizuru and Ryunosuke. I love like all these characters. They all have their places in this show, and it's crazy. Absolutely. Like to have so many unique characters, and they all mean something to like the progression.
Yep. Unlike Classroom of the Elite.
Don't be bashing on Classroom of the Elite.
Oh, I'm definitely not. You know I'm not. But I'm just saying, it puts a lot of shit into perspective, man. What I do, and this is a complete downfall on my part. What I do is I take shows that I've watched that have shit that I know is entirely possible. When other shows don't have that, I get frustrated, and I hold it against the other shows, which I shouldn't. I should go into different shows with a fresh outtake, but I can't. It's like, unfortunately, it's not. It's our job. It's like what we do, you know.
Yeah, it's like eating an A5 Wagyu and then getting regular steak, or it's like having some, let's say, Pioneer Elite speakers, and then you get
computer speakers.
Like I say, computer speakers or Vizio or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It just don't feel the same, and that's why I think, you know, other shows have to suffer, but I'm always keep it real with how I feel, you know, bar. But let's slide on over to one of the greats this season. Oh shit, to Overlord. Let's slide on over it, Lord 4.
Let's go.
Fuck, dude. This what's funny, and this is the comedic aspects of Overlord. I forgot who I was talking. I think I was just talking to the stream about this, but what makes the comedic aspects of Overlord so good is Ainz himself, right? Ainz is this menacing fucking demon, the Overlord of the underworld. He's fucking fantastic as this fucking mic check waifu demon. I'm gonna just use that. But what made this episode so fucking good, dude, what made it so fucking good is the way everything played out with the Emperor. Jerkneef was fucking blown back. Like, yo, this man is just way too smart for me. I can't do shit with him. Blah blah blah. He was saying all this crazy shit. Like, I'm fucked. I'm basically fucked. Hey, make us a vassal. And the reason he made him asking to be a vassal is because he had no idea. Ainz was just there for a completely different reason. We were completely wrong with our Pandora take, but that's perfectly okay because this take was even better. Like, I like the fact that it was actually him, and the reason for him being there was a legitimately good reason to get the attention of the adventurers of other countries to then lure them back to the Sorcerer Kingdom, so he can then develop an actual adventurers guild that will do the adventure and do the exploring, which then will help him find maybe other people and
Yggdrasil.
That was a part of Yggdrasil, yeah. So it's like, it's genius while accidentally creating this entire fucking realm with Jerkneef believed that he's just being watched by Ainz and he can't do shit with Ainz, which we all know he can't. Or with the Temple of Nazarick, period. Like, you can't do nothing with any of them motherfuckers there. So you're making the right move, but you're making the right move for the wrong reasons, and that's what makes the comedy of Overlord so fucking good. Because I was dying laughing when he was tripping out.
I was completely forgot the fact that, you know, he's a skeleton, right? And he has like built-in death touch. Yeah.
I forgot about the fight. The fight was the most important part of that entire episode. I'm sure.
But it wouldn't even it's not necessarily the most important part. Like, what you said to me is the most important part. But it was like how the fight played out was so cool too, right? Because he really went to this as like an honorable fighter. Mm-hmm. Asked him, like, you know, from his experience, he's like, you're not gonna make fun of my name. And he's like, first of all, bro, I'm the warrior king. I know what strong looks like. I'm not gonna make fun of the strong.
He was so fire too. What a great character he was.
It was so good. It was so good. I'm just like, yo, he about to die. he about to die.
And die did.
And then he asked, bro. He had the goal to ask the Warrior King, like, yo, do you have any, like, I don't know, secret moves that could possibly turn the tides of battle right here?
Yeah, that's just so hilarious.
Like, I don't have that. And he go and try and do it, and we realize, oh, we forgot. You're not even strong enough to even hit him.
Yep. If anybody's under level 80, I think they can't touch him. He's immune to any damage. And and again, this goes back to when we did our Overlord rewatch. I mentioned his aura, his death aura is literally just when you feel it, it's a debuff on you. It's a fucking debuff just from him being around you if you're under a certain level. So, but unbelievable.
I love the actual, like, how they represented this Warrior King character so much, right?
Yes.
And what made it,
they gave him character.
They gave him a lot of character, but what I mean by, like, when I talk about the character is that he was horrified. Yeah. He was shaking for at least 5 seconds on screen, like,
he knew what
because
it was.
He didn't have a choice. He was like, I gotta drop my armor. He was like, I gotta do something, and it's not like he ever gave up. He had that pride. I love how they do some of the characters in this show. They really give these characters like a heart in some of these things, because there was no reason for them to really give us that much development in this character. And yes, I imagine we're gonna see him again because he brought him back, and we realized that he probably becomes. That character is literally on the cover art for the show right now for this season. Mm-hmm. But it's like, they didn't have to give that character that much heart as like an actual character for the show, and they did. Now, I think it was well deserved, and it made that, like, not even the fight, but his reactions within the fight made the episode like good. It was just real good.
Great episode. What's funny is that the entire time I was talking about the jerk knee part, I forgot the fight even happened, man. And the fight was so great. It was so great, dude. It was so good, man. And what I loved about it, I loved the way they're doing the storytelling. The storytelling seems like how the manga was structured, which was out of order, completely told out of order. But telling it out of order made the most sense for this particular moment, because again, we didn't know if that was the real Ainz coming to the field or not, because we were with Jerkniv and him when the slain theocracy. It's so fucking good. Like, understanding that with him joining, trying to become a vassal of that will put the slain theocracy against the empire, which means that the kingdom, which is the one where Gaziv was a part of, the kingdom, the empire, and the slain theocracy. The empire becoming a vassal. You got the slain theocracy. They hate the kingdom. They always hated the kingdom. They was going to war with the kingdom. That's why Gaziv was in that situation he was in with Ainz in the very first season. So they're not going to probably come together to try to fight the Tomb of Nazarick. What are we going to do? What is the slain theocracy going to do? They're going to try to summon his gut. They're going to try to bring in the Godkin, which they fucking hate because they don't like false gods, because they're all about the religion and real gods and shit. But they're going to have to kowtow to the Godkin and try to get them to fight Ainz in the Great Tomb of Nazarick, which is clearly going to fail, but that's where this is leading to. But that's what makes this fucking show so special, man.
Right. Can we also talk about the big lie that Ainz told in the beginning? Yeah. when he was asking him, he was like, I want to fight the Warrior King. And he was like, well, is it true that you cast a spell that killed tens of thousands of people instantly? He's like, yeah, but I gotta wait 10 years to cast that spell again.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to worry about that. He's like, when you consider that a weakness, he's like, I have other spells. But first of all,
like he's the only he's the only one of 3 chrono wizards in Yggdrasil. Like, he can't control time himself.
But also, why he tell that lie? Like, it's gonna really take him 10 years to cast that spell again.
I know. At least I think he can. Maybe he was right. I don't know. I don't know any knowledge. That when he cast the spell, he said the only thing he said was a perfect time to cast the spell when he casted it, because he has so many people to sacrifice. He normally doesn't have
that many people to sacrifice.
I see what you're saying. The kill itself. Okay, yeah.
Because the kills were just part of the spell to summon the baby goats.
Yeah, they wasn't even thinking about. That's true. Maybe he can't summon the baby ghost, but maybe he can sacrifice people. That's interesting. That's crazy. Great show. Great anime for sure. Oh man, I think we got probably one of the best Rent a Girlfriend episodes this season so far.
Yes. Now, I just want to say this. I was watching this episode and I thought about you, bro.
Why you say that?
Because I feel like you said something about like you didn't want all these extra girls in the show anymore.
Yeah, well,
that you felt like they just didn't have a place anymore.
Yeah, what's her name? The R one, Ruka one specifically, which I still feel that way about her.
But this episode, to me, I was like, man, these girls in this show, we don't deserve them.
Yeah,
our main character don't deserve them. He definitely don't deserve them.
He don't deserve Ruka. He don't deserve. He don't. Yeah, he don't deserve it.
None of them. Not near not.
Mommy can go though. She can go.
He can. Well, he can roll with Mommy Chan.
Nah, I'm cool. Get her the fuck out of here.
You don't want her to be with nobody.
Nah,
but so basically, we start off this episode with a little bit of a recap of what happened previously. He just had a night with Ruka-chan, and Ruka was trying to get intimate, and he was just trying to chill because he ain't had he was trying to keep himself together. Ruka leaves, and she makes a scene a little bit saying, "We had a great night, and I can't believe it was so good." Blah blah blah. You know,
pissed me off. I hated that. That's
just to be petty and piss off me hard. But you know, that's her boyfriend, so she can do that.
The fact that she is his girlfriend pisses me off, because why would he put himself in that situation in the first place? You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
the same reason he in the situation he in the first place.
No,
he don't have no balls.
That's true. Okay, all right. Well, touche.
What do you expect from this kind of character?
You're right. You preaching, because that's a fact when you put it like that. But like him going on a date with Sumi was pretty good. She's adorable. Mm-hmm. She's absolutely adorable. I love how the characters around, like the side characters around us, is like, oh, she's so cute. Is that her boyfriend? Blah blah blah, and they be just talking shit.
He dogging him.
He dogging him like he's trash.
But Sumi, so the great thing about Sumi is that she comes off obviously as super shy, because she is super shy. But she clearly obviously has interest in Kazuya, right?
Yeah. But
he's not going to see it because he's blinded. But the way she did everything, you know, she's tapping him, and our last moments with her, even to me, I was just like, man, I love her character with as few words as she says.
I agree.
I love her character. And it was like, I didn't want more screen time for her. I feel like if they had given her more screen time, it wouldn't have been as impactful or as good. Mm-hmm. But the amount of screen time they gave her, the moments they gave her, and when everything she did just felt way more impactful with the amount of time they gave her.
Right. Couldn't agree more. This situation is, for one, the way Kazuya handled the birthday thing with Chizuru was kind of perfect, to be honest. Mm-hmm. That part I liked a lot. The fact that she took him, the fact that she cares enough about him and his interests made her so much more likable to me. And again, she wasn't likable before, but it's just the fact that she just cares, even though she likes him. I don't know.
Trying to act like she don't like him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I do love these cast of characters. Kazuya just pisses me off sometimes with his overreactions. You know, yeah. I think he's, matter of fact, I'm gonna say it. I think he's the down point of the show. Yeah, for easily. Sure.
I thought we agreed on that after the first season.
Yeah. True, because Manami, as pissed as I get from mommy, I think she's a great character. Like she
serves her purpose.
Yes, she's the girl you are supposed to hate, and I fucking hate her. Do I get it? Yeah, I get it. I know those types. I very much know those types of people for sure.
They're the one. Demon.
So like I get it, but you know, whatever. Rent a Girlfriend's good though.
Yeah. Do you think? And I'm just asking this question. I'm throwing this out there.
For sure.
Do you think by the end of the season we will get a much more noticeable "I like you" from Kazuya and Chizuru?
Ooh, that's a great question.
One of them, and I would love if Mizuhara actually came out and was like, "Look, I'm tired of playing these fucking games, bro. Stop renting me. I want to go on an actual date."
Dude, it seems like she's much more open, right? About like you can feel her emotions. The fact that he doesn't see it pisses me off, by the way. But
he's stupid.
You can see her jealousy.
His balls recessed into his gut.
You can straight up see her jealousy. You can straight up feel how she feels when he expresses himself to her.
Mm-hmm. When he brought up Ruka-chan,
yeah,
he immediately should have known. That bothered you,
dude.
Is she above being bothered? No, she's bothered, bro.
Don't let it be us. Don't let it be me.
I'm telling you,
it'd be so different. Oh, are you upset? Why don't you talk to me about that? Why are you upset about that? What's wrong? Didn't you tell me to date her?
Yeah. Answer some questions real quick, shorty.
Yeah, let me talk to you. You know,
let's figure this out. We can work through this.
Hey, come here.
Next door. We can talk whenever.
Come here. So you feel like what she said was true? Because if what she said was true, I would just tell you straight up. Like, yeah, me and Ruka did a thing, but guess what? You told me to date her. But no, I didn't say that because that's not what happened. What happened was, and it's just he did tell her the truth though. He did do a good job with telling her the truth. That's good.
What had happened was I was waiting for you to come on real, and Ruka was like, "Hey, I'm coming to cook dinner for my boyfriend." I was like,
"Whatever.
You gonna sleep over there on the bed? I'm gonna sleep on the floor
in the kitchen."
And I'm gonna wait for my baby Mizuhara to pull up.
Yo, we would have handled it different, man. We would have been different.
Yo, I do think though, what if Mami-chan had put? Because Ruka would have been like, "That's my boyfriend."
Yeah, exactly. And then what?
And then Mommy would have been like,
"But are you like a rental?"
No, I'm not.
That's my boyfriend.
That's my man's right there. Now that made the season better. Mommy would have been like, nope. I gotta show up there.
She would have popped off. She would have actually showed out. Yo, that's crazy. I like that idea, dude. Damn, why didn't they do that? That's crazy.
They ain't want to have it dramatic. They ain't want no My Teen Romantic Comedies.
Oh my god, dude, it's so good. I need to do a rewatch of that soon. Such a good fucking show.
We can both do that rewatch.
Such a good show. All right, let's wrap this up, man.
All right. We just finished talking about Rent a Girlfriend season 2. Let us know how you think final season, or not final season, the second season ends up wrapping up. Overlord season 4, man, great episode. Summertime Rendering, y'all already know what it is. Episode of the week every week, so we ain't give it episode of the week because can't keep doing it. When we got done, Mic Check Waifu Waifu asked, have you ever been to Japan? Are you listening from Japan? Let us know. We also talk about Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. I finally started watching it. It's real good. I'm gonna watch it with my wife and come back next week and talk about it. It's too good to not talk about. We also gave our top 3 of the season, our bottom 3 of the season, as well as we watched Black Summoner, and we compared it a little bit to Herman the Labyrinth, which is my guaranteed drop for the season unless Polo tell me otherwise. Episode of the weeks were Engage Kiss. Polo really enjoyed the episode. Mine was Classroom of the Elite. You know, they had to get one eventually. Also, don't forget to check out my boy Polo. He's Polo Born Fly on Twitch streaming. Show him some love, subscribe, follow, you know, all the good stuff. And that's been episode 163 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
I'm at Polo Born Fly on all social media.
I'm at King Teliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mic Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mic Check Waifu on TikTok and Instagram. And as always, Mic Check.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu Waifu. that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?